I can deal with that. I have Gold Dust Woman in my head, and it's just like, it's like my theme of the day. It's going to be my theme of the day today. Gold Dust Woman. And by Courtney Love. I know. I'm a poser. I just don't like the Fleetwood Mac, the Stevie Nicks version as well. Who gives a flying fuck? Okay. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for Collective to get in here. Why am I wearing those? Actually, I like the color. Make you break down, shine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow. All right. 4th house. Aries energy. And we've got Pluto. Oh, man. We haven't channeled Pluto in so long. That's Scorpio energy. All right. 4th house. Let's see. Cancer. Okay. Okay, so what I'm getting, it kind of lines up with what I've heard over the last couple of days. Like, so there's this huge kind of shift in the atmosphere. Like, people are getting reviews, okay? They're getting, spirits coming to their door, kind of like a monthly thing they do, yearly thing, I don't really fucking know, but people get evaluated. Okay, and what I said this to myself the other day, and then I was watching Chiron, and Chiron said it too, and I went, damn, okay, that's powerful as fuck then. You know how in Pan's Labyrinth, okay, the little girl, when I forget what her name is, but when she dies, she goes to her spiritual family in the afterlife. Okay, her mom is there, and her dad is there, okay, but for some people whose parents are still alive, okay, they come from a different world, and people were sent here, okay, and they were put under command of certain people to look after. Okay, they're kind of like guardians, So a lot of people here end up being guardians to spiritual beings because they're parents, if that's what you want to call it, okay, are in the fucking sky. They're like Aphrodite. Fucking, that Aphrodite wanted to come out so bad. Okay, Aphrodite, fucking Michael. I'm getting something Lutherian. Okay, they're like gods, okay? Now I'm looking at all the Cancer signs and Libra and Scorpio, and I'm like, there are gods up there and goddesses, okay, if that's how you want to say it. If you want to be sexist, even though I would just say God as universal, but, people. So you came down here, you had a job to do, you had a mission to do. Your parents granted you permission to come to Earth. You picked your family. Okay. But that's not your actual family. That's not, they were just people that you picked because they looked like good people and they were going to take care of you. They were claiming they were a certain way in real life. Like, I'm a, stand-up citizen. I'm the best damn wife around, They were claiming these titles, which is like, it's still going on today. It's always going to go on. People jump in line. They claim their spot, and they usually do it to family members. The littler ones will jump in front of the big ones to have kids and stuff like that, right? Because it's always about having kids and getting married. And you notice that the young ones in your family will often do that, where the older ones kind of go like, your families can go off in all sorts of different directions. But I kind of find like, patterns build, okay, with people. And this is where you come from. Okay. So you were put into this family as I almost believe as a way of changing the family. Okay. If you were put into like a heartless family, like you were supposed to change them. Okay. Just by your very being was supposed to ignite them, put them in their emperor modes, show them that they're in charge of something, like, cause they would have been in charge of you. Okay. I'm in charge of something. I'm a man. I'm a woman. I got to act a certain way. I said I was going to do this. Now I'm going to play the role, but they kind of didn't. Okay. And you're powerful as fuck from where you come from. These people don't come from where you come from. So if your parents, in real life, they don't believe you, you say you see ghosts, or, you can talk to dead people, or you can, you see things or something, and you try to tell your parents, your parents, whoever these guardians are, they seem to be like very one-dimensional. Okay. And their whole thing was you were supposed to be the dimension that opened them up. You were supposed to be the niche that allowed them to believe in the spiritual realm. And, because these people that you chose to be your guardians here, okay, whether they have your DNA or not, okay, these people saw things as children too. Okay. And it's always an experiment. It's always a test to almost their inner child, right? Are they going to acknowledge the things that they saw as children, with children right in front of them saying, hey, by the way, I saw it too. But now daddy's going to be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm a grown up. How can I say that I saw ghosts? That's something that you see as a child. Children lie. They make up stories, blah, 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 blah. And then it just keeps going and going and going. And somebody just continually gives themselves the excuse for being just ignorant. Okay. And ignorant in a sense where it pisses the universe off even more, because their ignorance, how they say ignorance is bliss. It isn't ignorance when that person knows that it's true. And that's just plain stupidity. That's just plain, you're just an asshole because you just fucking want to be. Okay. That's beyond ignorance. I don't even that's narcissistic. I mean, you can go beyond ignorance. That's for sure. The winter. It's like, it's time. I feel like what Pluto is saying with Scorpio energy is Pluto is saying you're done with these fictional characters. Okay. These guardians were just that. They were guardians. And now you're a big boy. You're a big girl. You don't need them anymore. Consciously. Okay. You don't need them, in your life, you can freeze them out. Okay, there's the Book of Shadows in reverse with Yule. Oh, look at that. Okay, Yule came out with the winter card. Those are both winter cards. I don't think that has ever happened before. With the secret in the middle in reverse. I almost feel like what Spirit is saying is it's not... now I'm looking at my Gravenhurst. Oh my God. Okay, so this is definitely a spiritual death. I feel like... I feel like people have kept you very cold, very silent, very detached. And that was a lie. Okay. That was all a lie. They detached you from your spiritual being. Okay. That's why you need to now detach from them, because somebody's guardians are keeping them from reaching their third eye. And because you have to believe it. Okay. Opening your third eye, it's not about seeing, it's about believing. You have to believe it before you can consciously manifest it. Okay. And that's what they say, you know, if you want somebody in your life, if you're waiting for a partner, you know, empty out a drawer in your house, empty out a drawer in your room, empty out a drawer somewhere to allow the universe to know that you're making space for somebody to come into your life. Okay, making space isn't easy, but if you want somebody there, like if you want to have a kid, you kind of got to give them a room. Okay, if you want a spouse, you kind of got to let them put their clothes somewhere. Okay, it's something like that, and like they froze you out, so you feel like, you know, you might have a house full of so much clutter and so much crap, and that's what's keeping somebody from allowing new energy to come in, because they're holding on to all this other crap that makes it look like they have a lot of stuff, but really it's stuff that they now have to let go. Okay, it's like I'm an artist, and it is really hard to let go of my paintings. I can remember some of the paintings that I have out there in the ether, and I think to myself, like, do my friends still have them? Like, you know, I sold paintings for a while. Like, do those people still have my paintings? Like, where is my art in the world? You know, is it still like my one apartment in Calgary? I painted the whole thing. The whole thing was a mural. Like I started off with my door in my room, and I painted my whole room. I painted the bathroom. I painted the living room. I painted this huge mural in my kitchen of these brachiosauruses. I paint. That's what I do. And I tend to leave my trail of paint all over the world. You know, it's like a graffiti artist, but as a painter. And I enjoy it. And I know that, like, I'm holding on to these paintings that are on my wall, and I love them so much. That's the thing. I love them so much. But if I want to make new paintings, I have to get rid of the old ones. And not get rid of them. I don't have to throw them out anywhere, but I have to move them. I have to change the location, or I have to, you know, let them go for a bit and put them into storage and then bring them out again, you know, or again, like just clearly make room for them, but then I'll make room and then my entire apartment will be paintings. So I have to give them away, you know, because I feel like each painting is a series of your life, is a phase of your life, and you have to let those things go. Even things that you acquire and accumulate, you know, you have to let them go. You have to give them away or put them into storage and bring them out. And then you realize that once you put something in storage, they say, if you have something in storage for more than 6 months and you haven't touched it, you're likely never to touch it again. Because if it's something you need, you'll constantly go to it, you know, and bring it out every like month or so, or a couple months, depending on the season, if you need it, and then you'll put it away. But if you put something away for 6 months, do you really need it? Like, why the fuck would you put it away for that long, right? Unless it's a seasonal thing. That's the thing. If it's a seasonal thing, even still, really, you know, like 6 months is like the max to put that shit away. Okay. So I feel like somebody's definitely been like, I don't know, lying to you about something. Okay. And it's keeping you frozen. I don't know if they're lying to you or they're just keeping the secret. Okay. And you know that you're supposed to be living in your shadow. You're supposed to be dark. You're supposed to be cold, right? You're supposed to be death, right? How can you be alive? How can you be in a relationship if you're dead? For one, you're not dead. Okay. I can tell you that right now. You're not dead. It's just sometimes our feelings go dormant. Okay, we forget about them. We forget what it's like to feel because we're told we're not allowed to feel. We're told, put your feelings aside. What is this, a pity party? What do you have to feel sorry for yourself? People have a natural ability to be abusive because of their own past. Okay, and a lot of people don't acknowledge trauma. They don't acknowledge tears. They don't acknowledge violence. You're supposed to cover it up, forget about it, and no one's going to talk about it again. But when you get as an adult, you realize that you're using those things that happened in the past and you're putting them directly in front of your life, and they're constantly conflicting with every relationship that you try to have, because there's this outstanding thing in your shadow telling you that you're death, that nobody loves you, that how could this person love you even though they're telling you that they do. They obviously are lying. They're obviously trying to, you know, persuade you to do something else, when some people just love you. Okay, there are no strings attached, but if you come from a place where strings are attached, then love can be like a weapon. Okay, and that's not what it's supposed to be. Okay, so there's witch with healer. I'm finding a lot of the collective needs healing. Okay, like not just a little bit of healing, like massive amounts of healing. And that's why I put those Reiki sessions up that I do. I will never put a Reiki session up that I have not done personally already before I put it up. So I can always guarantee you a good session because I've went through it. And some of these sessions that I'm doing, it's life changing. I mean, but it's something you have to continually do. If you want the light in, you have to continually embrace it every day because the dark wants to get in there. It wants to stay there. It wants to keep you in the dark. It wants to keep you scared. It wants to keep you in the unknown. What if, the constant war of somebody's mind. It's a secret. There's somebody put something in your shadow that was never supposed to be there. You were never supposed to have that guilt or that feeling, right? It was a lie. Okay. It was a lie to put this secret onto you. And now I watched this series called Mayor of Easttown. And this little kid, okay, he kills somebody. And he holds this secret, and he's done it before. He's held secrets before for his father. So when he holds on to this secret, his mom knows, and the kid starts to break down because of these secrets that he holds on to from his father. And like when you do that, when you hold somebody else's secrets as if they're your own, you begin to feel accountable for those secrets, even though you have nothing to do with it. Okay, so there's Lithia with intensification. Something is definitely, I think this secret that they have put into your shadow is intensifying, okay, and it's awakening. And when our secrets awaken, okay, it's because our bodies are now at that point where they want to heal and it wants to move forward. It doesn't want to carry this with it anymore because it's going to be a constant wound no matter what, but it wants to be healed. Okay. It's always going to be a scar. You're always going to see it, but you don't have to concentrate on it. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to focus on it. You can move forward, have that in your past and no longer a secret in your shadow that you're carrying around that's not yours. Okay. So there's tarot cards with guidance. Okay. And then candles with magic. So somebody is being guided to use tarot as a guidance for them. Okay. And, work with candles, do candle magic, rebirth yourself, awaken secrets that you've held on to. Okay, if there's somebody that you've got secrets for, even if it's a sibling who, you're just simply holding on to a secret for a sibling who did something to their spouse. It's like, once again, you're not doing anybody good by saving it from anybody, right? It's just like, maybe you need to expose something. You need to unleash this secret that's in the shadow. You need to intensify it, add light to it. And every day that you add light to it, you are regaining control of your life, which is why it's emperor status. The beginning of the wheel, emperor's got it on lock, put it into, mount that shit in steel and go. Right? Like it's not the beginning of the wheel is not like the beginning of tarot when you make the fool's choice to take a risk and do something and it pays off. This isn't a risk that you're willing to do to see if it pays off. This is a secret that is not yours that you now need to expose. And by exposing it in your emperor status, then you're exposing it from your tower, from your point of view, from your life, from your existence. Nobody can take that away from you because you're not on their territory. You're not on their turf. You're in your life, on your property, on your lawn. They want to say something to you. They have to come to your property and speak. Okay, this isn't you're going on somebody else's property, bark, 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 throwing your shade and running away. This is my life. I'm going to announce it on my front yard. You got something to say. You know where I live. Okay, now I'm getting Ben Affleck in The Town, where he goes to the flower guy, and he goes, "I live at 225 Bunker Hill. Drop by anytime." That's like basically what I hear you saying is like, this is where I live. Drop by anytime. I got the truth. You want to fucking hear it. If not, don't be sitting there from your little chair, from your little phone, fucking texting, throwing your shade, doing your bullshit when I'm actually speaking truth. Back the fuck up or come to my fucking door. Right? But it's like, I don't know. This is pretty powerful. And especially, you know, if you're going to do something, if you're going to expose some type of secret, okay, that you're telling, people are telling you cannot do, okay, and you add tarot to that, it's like, because tarot will match your frequency if it's correct. Your vibe will attract your tribe. Okay, so it's gonna all kind of like line up in place if you want to line this up, because spirit seems to think you have quite a good defense, okay, and you have quite a good offense, okay. So I mean, whatever they think that they can do, I mean, it seems to me like these people are just a bunch of bullies. Whatever they're believing in, whatever this book is, whatever these shadows are, whatever these secrets are, I mean, they're secrets because these people didn't have a good enough courage to just say it, right? They had to hide. They have to hide. Usually people have to hide behind people, you know, it's like very unconfident. Like, you know, these are people that are children. That's really what I'm getting. Because, I mean, who freezes people out? Children. You know, that's how children react. I once lived with this witch. I didn't know she was a witch. Obviously, I never would have lived with her. But she used to tell me that she would freeze people. She would write their name down, freeze them, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, well, why would you do that? And like, she froze somebody at work, for instance. Like the first week I was living with her, there was this jar in the freezer and she's like, yeah, don't touch that. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, it's somebody at work that's pissing me off. So she just decided to do this fucking freezer spell because a lady at work didn't like her. Instead of, you know, making friends at work, you choose enemy right away. You like people do not need to like you. Okay, people do not need to all of a sudden just accept you. Okay, you know, you're an acquired taste. You're going to, you know, make people have a sour face sometimes. You're going to make people angry, okay? And you're going to make some people happy. And you're going to speak the same language as other people, okay? It's not all like kumbaya, okay, in the world. Like, I would love for it to be. It's actually quite opposite of kumbaya in this world, okay? And I feel like whatever these people are is like, you know, just be, even if they didn't like you, they had no right to fill your head with bullshit and make their secrets your reality. They had no right to do that. Okay, that's why I'm saying they're kind of, you know, this is almost kind of children's play at this point of like, who would play on a child like that other than children, right? Doesn't matter if they're adults, doesn't matter if they're 50 years old. I mean, age is literally a number. It means nothing. It has nothing to do with you. You've been here for however long you fucking been here, however many days. That doesn't account to an age. The calendar is known. It doesn't even exist, okay? Months don't exist. It's your time here is what exists, okay? It's just how much can people control, okay, or want to be controlled, right? So you are time and space. You are so many things. And these people made you like a secret, or they wanted you to be a secret, or they made you the secret, you know, suddenly now you have a secret, or sorry, they have a secret, you know about it. Suddenly now you're the asshole, as if you're the one that has the secret that needs to be told, but really you're just holding it. Okay. Like people, as they, you know, go through situations, they start to lose sight of the path that they originally got on because it was full of shit and full of lies. Okay. So I feel like these people, whoever these people are that put the secret onto you, made you a secret, made you feel like you were a secret, lied to you about something, you know, those people now are being exposed for being the ones that fucked with you. Okay. And now the universe is saying, well, these people chose to do what they did. They chose to break the law. They chose to, you know, abuse you or go against you or lie. Okay. Or sudden death you and try to change you, freeze you out. And now they have to pay for that. They have to pay for those consequences because these were your guardians. These were the people that were supposed to take care of you, were supposed to support you, right? They had the money, they had the funds, they had the heart, they had everything that they needed. That's what they told the universe. They had everything they needed to raise you as well as they possibly could, and then massively failed within the first year of your existence. What does that show you? That once they failed at the first year, okay, by the time you were 4, everything was like unerasable at that point. Okay, because by the time you're 4, you remember shit. Okay, I remember shit when I was 3. I remember having one of the, like, probably one of my very first anxiety attacks as a child, and I was 3 years old. If I can remember that, you can remember a lot more in your childhood than what you think. Okay, so whatever this is of their massive amount of abuse, okay, eventually it just got, so ordinary. And so, well, this is just Monday. This is how they act. I mean, these people lied on their resume to have you. That's something the universe just doesn't wipe off and go, oh, don't worry, everybody lies on their resume. You're just one of every. But like, they could have lied on their resume and, I don't know, not been a douchebag. Okay, they could have said that they, were just about to have everything ready and still had that vision of getting everything ready to have you there, and they didn't. Like, it was still something that they couldn't even. If they were a little hesitant on about it, they should have said that, and they didn't. They were full confident, full force, full ride in there, and then just copped out. And those are what we call, a Knight of Wands. Go in all hot and heavy, all this injury, all this, energy, and then boom, I wanted to say injury, right? Because you come in with that much heat, that much pressure, you're bound to hurt somebody, right? Because you got to calm your fucking waters a bit, right? The Knight of Wands turns into then the King and the Queen of Wands, right? The Queen, I mean, the Knight has to go to the Queen before it gets to the Queen, or before it gets to the King, because the Knight has to cool their fucking shit down, which the only way to cool it down is a feminine energy. If it jumped from Knight of Wands to King of Wands, oh my God, that motherfucker would die of like an aneurysm in his head. He would pop, okay? Because there was no fluctuation of the feminine energy in there. There's no water. There's no release. There's no, coming with all that hot water. You need to cool down. If you don't have the ability to cool down, right, then you've got no ability to kind of death yourself in a moment where spirit could take you over, right? Which is kind of how I feel like these people wanted you. If you had moments of like extreme temper or extreme rage, that was caused by these people lying to you, lying on your behalf, making you carry a secret that wasn't yours, whatever it was all because of them. Your rage didn't just come from nowhere, or your energy, or your however you're feeling. It just come from nowhere. It doesn't. It stems from a problem that occurred, right, in a time where you didn't have control of the situation. Ha! I just got that. Hi, Diane. I just got that song Hero by Nickelback. I am not a Nickelback fan, but for some reason, when they use that song on like rescue videos, and I just think it's the best song ever. Ha! Familiar and protection. Somebody's familiar is a little unprotected. So somebody out there that's watching, quick little FYI, might want to protect your familiar by doing a little cleanse, or just be extra careful watching them walk down the street or something, Eagles. Watch the Eagles, okay? Got a little chihuahua. That's lunch, okay? There is a coyotes are really bad right now, and they're breeding with wolves, so they're fucking huge and sick, and they are just snatching up dogs left, right, and center in fucking Toronto. So be careful, even if your dog's big, try to keep that mofo in sight, or have some type of tracker, because you just never know what's out there. You don't have to be in the woods to seek danger, apparently. Now you can just be walking downtown Toronto and just walk right into a coyote, apparently. So just be careful, all right? Forbidden with Candyman. There's The Thing and Pan's Labyrinth. I brought up Pan's Labyrinth. Thank you. Gotta love Spirit, eh? I say something and then they put a card down. Okay, honestly, this is the same message. I didn't clear the energy and it came up again because it was so coming up, but this is literally being forbidden from being your natural self. Okay? So FYI, just going to clear the deck there. Somebody is not in their authentic self. Hey, Adam! What's up, girl? Hope you're having a good day. Always a good day when you get off work, eh? Okay, here we go. Next message. All right, Cujo. We got water, devil, gremlins with nature, the birds. Okay, so I feel like somebody has something coming in for them, okay, with the birds. Like something big is going to come in. It's going to come in like large sprouts and then kind of pan off, and then large sprouts again and kind of pan off. Okay. So the universe is like, they have to prepare you for this. Okay. So what I'm getting is somebody has like, okay, the way that I'm seeing this illness, I kind of feel like, you know, trauma. I don't really feel like it's illness. I feel like it's trauma of some sort. Hey, Wolfgang. No way. I think a bird, I was doing a personal reading with a lady right before this, and a bird fucking flew into the window. We had so much negative energy trying to do this personal reading for her today. I felt so bad. So trust me, I know collective is getting fucking hit right now. Okay. They're getting hit because it just kept hitting our fucking reading for an hour straight. We got attacked. Okay. So I feel like this illness is collective with their battles, with their trauma, okay? And something is going to come into your life, okay? And the universe really wants you to keep your emotions on check, okay? Check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you could displace energy into this situation that has nothing to do with it and ruin it. Okay? Because as we know, nothing is set in motherfucking stone unless it's a grave. Okay? Even then, apparently they don't bury bodies. Apparently they're empty coffins everywhere. So you do the math on that shit. What's really underground? Okay? So with the devil here with gremlins, the devil is here because it wants to take somebody's desires away from them. He wants to control you again, okay? And that's a part of your emotions, okay? That's why your emotions are attached to the devil in some way, okay? So say something happens at work, okay? And somebody, I don't know, somebody does something to you, okay? Whatever, at work. But they don't do it to you. They just, you know, don't take the boxes out when they were supposed to, or they just don't sweep up when they were supposed to. Like someone's trying to line it up, so then you freak out. Okay, you freak out, you lose it, you change, turn into the crazy person, and miss the next opportunity. And what the next opportunity is going to do is there's going to be some type of level up from that position that you're in, which is why the devil wants you to fuck it up, because the devil's not going to want you to have anything. It wants you to stay where it can like leech and feed off of you. Okay. Because he wants to feed off the weak is what he does. Right. And then what the weak does under the weak circumstances, it also depends on if you become a strong person again, because just because you're weak, when you admit weakness, defeat, say you're fucking raging alcoholic and you're like, all right, I'm at defeat. Okay, I have to start from the bottom. You have to take everything away from me. You basically have to act like a baby because you can't control yourself around something. Okay, then you have to build your control back again. Okay, while keeping your emotions in check, because if your emotions go out of whack, you're going to drink again. Right? And the world is going to test you because nothing's going to be perfect. You're always going to have bad days. People are going through the same shit as what you're going through, but they're not going home and drinking, you know? So, but your resort is to go home and drink. Well, you're not supposed to be drinking anymore, right? So you figure out a different way to deal with your shit so then you don't change, right? And go back to the person that you were before, hence losing the situation that's going to come in for you. Okay? Because the thing is that if you're right on your verge of like the big break or something huge happening, if you break before the big break, it just goes to show you that you weren't ready. I'm pretty sure someone's ready. So it's like you're going to be tested now, possibly a couple times in some situations where your old self would be to go back to your old ways and do what you did to self-soothe. You have to find a new way to self-soothe, or you're going to lose this. And it's one of those things. We all go through the testimony of time. Okay. And it's such bullshit. We know we're getting tested. Because it's frustrating, right? Immediately you think life starts going good and then you get fucking tested again. Why do you have to get tested? Like today, that whole personal reading with me and her was a test. I'm pretty sure it was a test on her because I mean, this shit naturally happens to me, but it was like the way that we dealt with it and the way that it's happened to me so many times that it was more probably for her of look at the sabotage out there. Okay. It's going to be even a sabotage trying to get a personal fucking reading because, you know, there's an energy around that hates you. Okay. And it's something that you need to learn to defeat because you're stronger than it. It's like my stepmother. All she does is talk shit about me. I smell, I'm dirty, I'm disgusting, my tits are this, I fucking blah, 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 I'm ugly, my hair's this, I need to dye it, I'm too old, she hates me. My stepmother hates me. She has become this like thing that sits on my shoulder that tells me how imperfect I am all the time and nobody is going to love me. If I listened to her, I wouldn't be here. So I slowly, have learned that when I hear something like you look too fat for camera, your tits are out, you're disgusting, you need to shave. I tell her to shut the fuck up in multiple ways. Okay. If she's in my psyche, I'll fucking punch her in the face. Okay, sometimes it's a lot of violence because she doesn't give up. It's constant on me, on my ass. I don't work hard enough. I don't help my sister enough. I don't do enough around the house. I don't hold my snake enough. I don't channel enough. I don't make enough money. It's always a lack thereof. She always comes from a lack thereof, which is why I know it's my stepmother, because she thinks the world is supposed to be perfect and hates me. So put two and two together, you're going to get a perfect hate. Okay, that's what you're going to get. And she uses that to her advantage of just wanting to annihilate my personality altogether. Okay, if I listened to that devil, right, we'd be at the crossroads, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there would be no getting out of it because of what she does to my psyche. She psychologically abuses me, and she still does it to this day. She still gets through my dreams. She still pokes fun at me. She still says shit to me. And like I said, I haven't seen her for years, and I don't know why she does what she does, but she does it for whatever fucking reason she wants to do it. Okay, but I don't let it change me anymore. It used to be able to have the ability to change me. She would get into my blood. She would do things to me. And now, before sometimes I would hit her, punch her, shoot her in the head, fucking slap her, pull her pants down, embarrass her in some way. And now in my psyche, when she says stuff, you know, like I'll know that my body is hungry, okay? And she'll say something like, "You don't need to eat. Look at the size of you." And I'll hear that and be like, "What the fuck?" Like, I have Crohn's disease. I have a massive hard time trying to eat as it is. I'm not fat. I don't have fat on my body. Why would I not want to eat? Like, I need to eat or I'm going to die. But she thinks that I'm so fat that I could just go weeks and years without eating and I could probably live off my fat. I don't know where she sees the fat. I don't know where she thinks the fat exists in me. I don't know, but I believed it. You know, to the point where, like, I don't even look in the mirror. I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't want to look at myself and analyze myself in the mirror. I don't really find that that's healthy. I love my body. I'm not going to discriminate myself. And I certainly don't need to put my body up against somebody else or weigh my body up against somebody else. Like, what the fuck? Why? I would never do that to myself. That's not healthy. That's not fair, right? And if you're about to, I don't know, man, maybe you're about to be like a fucking model, okay? And it doesn't matter what you, like, I mean, models are beautiful. It doesn't matter what size they are. We need them of all size, all age, right? But if somebody says, well, you don't look like Claudia Schiffer, yeah, and neither do you. But they came to me and they want me. If you listen to them and say, well, no, I don't look like Claudia Schiffer, I could never measure up then, you're not going to measure up in your own head to what they're saying. And if they can get into your head enough, then you'll miss this opportunity because you'll think you're not good enough. You don't look good enough. You're not runway material. Says who? You see some of those fucking models? Like, I have shoes better looking than them, okay? So, like, honestly, I don't know what somebody put into your head, okay, or did to you, but it's an illness. Okay, and think about rabies. It's totally curable. Totally curable. Okay, but it can also kill you if you let it get out of control. Okay, which is what the devil wants to do. Okay, it wants to tip you in a way that you can get so pissed off. Because, I mean, he wants people to die. He knows that if you were to go face to face with somebody, whoever face to face you're going up against is probably an asshole. Okay, like, he gives a shit. He's not going to put you face to face with some angelic being, okay, that if you take out, you're going to go to hell. You wouldn't even get near that angelic being if you fucking tried. Okay. So it's like whatever he's trying to do, he's just sometimes trying to get people to do his dirty work. Okay. And if you don't need to do that dirty work anymore, if you're done fucking getting people in trouble and yelling at people and trying to, you know, claim a point or be a fucking officer of the law, even though you've never been to school, this might be for you. Okay, because you're not willing to change now. Don't be willing to break the law just because you feel like you can. Don't be willing to squeeze in between the lines because you know you can and you can skip steps. Don't skip steps. Okay, because steps aren't meant to be skipped. You want to skip a step, you know that you have a huge chance of falling or tripping. Okay, do you want to trip and fuck up on this? Probably not. Okay, I don't really think you want to lose this. So don't get overly emotional in a lake that if you get emotional, then you can't see and you got to go fishing. Okay, you don't want to murk up those waters. Okay, like, or you're never going to catch anything. Right. And I kind of feel like the universe really wants you to catch this or you're going to lose it because that's what happens in Gremlins. He doesn't take care of whatever his little name is. Okay. And he loses him. And that's why the old man didn't want to sell him the friggin' thing to begin with, because he knew that, like, people are dumb. They're stupid. They don't read the fine print. They don't read the rules. Okay, I was watching this video today, and this guy, he's so funny. He's on Instagram. I really like people who make me laugh. Like, if you don't make me laugh, I don't need you, and I don't want you. Go away. Okay, because I make myself laugh. So, anyways, he put up this little message, and he goes, you know, when you go to the clubs, up in the club, okay, and he's like, and you get there and you have to pay $20 to get in the door, or you got to pay $10 to get in the door. There's always a fucking cover charge. And he's like, you realize that you always pay that cover charge no matter how much money it is? He goes, why not see cover charge as your now mantra to live by? Okay, you can't respect me if you can't pay the toll, if you can't fucking wipe your shoes before you walk into my house. Leave. I don't want you here. Because that's what he said. That's what he goes. He goes, the club doesn't care who you are. It's not discriminating like that. You either fucking pay or you don't get in. It's plain and simple. Why can't people be more like that with relationships? If you can't respect me, if you can't text me back, if you can't just say hello, then you're losing my respect, because that's a part of this agreement. We don't just not speak for a fucking month and think that that's cool. That's not the agreement, right? It's like, if they can't hold their ground with you and at least give you what you deserve or what you feel you deserve, if it's too much, they don't pay the cover charge, they fucking leave. Okay? I mean, you are allowed to make your own expectations. You're allowed to plan your cover charge. You are allowed to say what people can and cannot wear around you. Okay, like if you're a fucking nudist, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to wear some clothes around me or this isn't gonna work, bud. What's so hard about that? Do you have to sit beside a nudist being that uncomfortable with a naked body just to have a friend or a boyfriend? No, right? I mean, I wish I had a boyfriend that just sat naked beside me all the time. But anyways. Spirit is so dirty. What's going on with your sister, Adam? Ew. Oh, God. Diane, you're so nice. Man, Diane is just here to make people feel better. Honestly, thank you so much, Diane, for the nicest things that you say. She always says the nicest things to me when I talk about my sister. Or usually my stepmother. Hey, Diane. Honestly, Adam, don't fucking deal with that shit. That's what I like. Honestly, like I'm blessed with my sister for a reason, and like we have our ups and downs, but like that's not cool, man. That's not. Some people just aren't supposed to have you around, you know what I mean? You need to find new people to be around. That is just awful. I forgot in the summertime, when you make a nice cold drink, it just drips everywhere from condensation. Like there's a puddle under this drink. It's just dripping everywhere. Like, always forget about good old condensation. Exactly. You tell him, Diane. I mean, you see me. I tell my father on a daily basis to go fuck himself. I don't care if he watches or not. Why the fuck do I care? It makes me feel better. And the universe needs to know that I do not like my father. I don't give a fuck what he says about me. I hope he's telling everybody how much he loves me. He's such a great father. My God, I got this new shampoo. Well, my sister picked it up. She picks up the best stuff sometimes. And my hair smells like a cedar forest. It's really weird. If anybody wants to know the name of it, but I am in Canada, so you probably don't sell it in the States. It's by Kristen Wiig. I don't know if you ever know her shampoo, but she makes like probably the best shampoo I've ever smelled in my life. And I smell like a cedar forest. It is so magical. It smells like life. Like my hair smells like life. It's so weird. Get some good shampoo into you, ladies. Honestly, good shampoo every day will change your perspective because you'll smell so good. Like I smell like a damp forest. Like that's all I can smell off me. It smells so good. Oh, and then with my lavender, oh, not gonna lie, I am obsessed with the way that I smell. But I can't believe my stepmother says I smell bad. It's so rude. Oh, and then, she has told people I've smelled bad my whole life, that actually, these people where I live now, I used to have dreads. I had dreads for like 10 years. Okay. And my hair never smelled. Okay. I don't know why they say dreadlocks smell. Maybe some people's do. I don't know. But my dreads never smelled. I was partying with my neighbors one night, and I had a really like abrasive neighbor, like just like me. Like he'll just ask anything. He doesn't give a fuck. Okay. Like if you were raped, he'd be like, hey, yo, I heard you were raped. Like he's just that kind of person. Right. Which, I mean, I respect those people. I'm not going to lie. And he was like, let me smell your hair right now. I'm like, okay. I mean, he was like 5'0", so I bent down. I'm like, here you go. And he's like, oh, your hair smells so good. I'm like, yeah. And he kind of walked away, and I was like, excuse me, can you just go elaborate on that a little bit, please? Like, why did you just get mad at me? Because he kind of like got mad at me, you know, like, let me smell your hair. Calm down. And I go, why did you say it like that? And he goes, well, somebody said you stunk. I was like, who the fuck smelled me? Like, who walked up to me and took a whiff of wit, you know? Because, like, I didn't notice anybody smelling me. And, like, I don't really think I smell, you know? And he was like, well, you don't. Your hair smells like, and I forget what he said. I think he said flowers or lilacs. And I was like, that's lavender. And he goes, whatever it is, you smell delicious. And I was like, thank you. Can you now spread that around everybody that I don't smell like a garbage pail? Please? Like, why do people say shit? I don't understand. It makes you just never want to be around people again. Because you're like, well, if I sleep with you, what are you going to tell people? Like, that I didn't shave my legs that day? Or like, people are so gross. It's such a hard thing. You know, when are you wasting your energy? And when are you contributing good energy, you know? It's so hard. Why is life so hard? That's what she said. Here we go. Okay, this might be my last reading because I did just do a personal reading. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm going to try. What are we at? 52:23. Let's see if we can get another message up in his Oh. My snake is awake, and he is just wanting to just be recorded so much. Like, he wanted to be in those readings this morning. Like, my snake was like, he was up at the crack of dawn with me this morning. He was up at I got up at 6:30. He was up at 6:45. And he was already ready to work. I'm like, you want to work with me right now, don't you? And he's like, yep. Like, whose animal wants to work with them so much? Oh, I'm going to get him, okay? Just hold on one second. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. What are you doing? Hello. Hi. You want to come out? Hey? Are you going to come out? Or are you going to stay in there? Hey? What are you going to do? You want to come out? For a little bit? Hmm? Yeah? Hey, baby. Okay, the little baby's out now. He just wants to be out all the live long day. Don't ya? You just want to be out all the live long day. Okay, there's Trickster with it. Well, how am I going to undo these little pieces of paper? I know you're so sleepy. There's Cujo again. Right? There's Cujo. Who's Cujo? Right? Hi, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Ooh, the Chariot. It says, Cujo, who let the monster out of my closet? I feel like I just let him out. Look at him. Oh. There's Pet Cemetery. Uh-oh. What did you do? Where are you going? Are you going? Oh, did you fall? I'm sorry, sweetie. He's looking for one of my clips in my hair. I don't have my hair clip in right now. Where are you? Ha! It's gonna come through my hair. Oh, geez, Louise. There's Carrie. Don't fall. Are you gonna hold on? Oh, good boy. Good boy. Ooh, there's Forbidden. And the Devil again. Okay. Where are you? I knew it. You're not going back there. No, you're not going back there. No. He keeps trying to get onto the chair that I'm sitting on. You can't. Why do you always... He always wants to do something that he's not allowed to do. Yes. Always. Always. You always want to do something you're not allowed to do. It's okay to let go. Okay. 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 I know I don't have my clip in. I know. You want me to put my clip in? Because you want to be on my head? Well, I can't put my clip in with only one hand. Yeah. Okay. Practice self-care. With the Devil. I almost am getting this feeling that like somebody thinks you can't have your cake and eat it too. When like the whole point of buying cake is to eat it. I don't know where that saying comes from, but it's stupid. Okay, so with it, I'm getting like somebody tricked you into believing that you cannot enjoy something. Okay, so someone's been going through this maze, okay, of something that they've kept hidden for a while. And they were told that they had to keep it hidden. They couldn't just death it out. Okay, they couldn't let it go. They had to stay in a maze, whether they liked it or not. It's like believing something, but they never tell you why you have to believe it. But they're telling you no matter what, you have to believe in it. It's kind of like, I almost feel like it could be forced religion, right? Telling you that you have to believe in a God, or that you have to believe in Jesus, or you have to believe in something. And if you don't, then it's kind of like a fuck you, then you're going to be forbidden from us. Okay. And when you think about Carrie too, like Carrie's here, and I kind of feel like, her mother is very religious, very thou shalt not. And, you better get praying on your hands and knees, and locks her in closets. And, basically the worst things that you could possibly put a child through, which I do not think, Jesus, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. I feel like maybe somebody was forbidden to speak, like, because he just literally stopped me from speaking for a second there. I feel like You were not allowed to speak up. Like, why are we believing in this? Like, if you had to sacrifice something, why am I sacrificing something? Like, why can't you tell me the answer? And they never told you the answer, right? It's like almost like maybe I'm kind of getting Lent, when they tell you that you can't eat something for so long. Okay. And you're like, why do I have to give something up that I love? But then maybe it's sometimes you give, you're forced to give something up that you love. So then you can find out if you love it or not. Okay. So you can come back to it. It's almost like they're saying it's a testimony of will and of strength, right? When really sometimes it's like, do you have to give something up, just to make people believe that you have control over it? Like, really? Is that what we're going off of? Like, they're saying you can't control yourself in something, so you take yourself, you don't get it anymore because they're saying that you can't control it anyways. So, like, you can't be, you can't have something because you're going to abuse it. So when you think about it, Carrie, she doesn't use her powers. For the most part, she's kind of scared of it because she knows her mother isn't going to accept her, right? Because there's no, she would call it black magic. That's not written in the Bible, and it's not written in the Bible, then, you certainly can't fucking talk about it or act like that's you, or, because if they don't know about it already, if it's not written down of something that, their family read and their mother read and their mother read, then it's not like information then, like they can't say that something exists if their parents didn't know it existed. It's almost like somebody's very outdated thinking. Like, just because your mother didn't know about it, now it doesn't exist because your mother didn't know about it? Look at he's coming out my shoulder. What are you doing? Oh, of course you're going backwards because you want to go where you're not allowed to go, which is on the chair. Modi. You're not going to go back there. Nope. Nope. You have to come on the front. Nope. You're not going to go on that chair whether you think you can or not. Okay? Like, you're going to fall again. It's a little tricky doing readings with him. As you can see right now, I should have my hair tied up because he would be able to be in my ponytail right now. It's a little tricky learning how to channel with him on my head. But we're learning, aren't we, Modi? We're learning. Where's your head? There you are. We're learning, aren't we? Learning new skills every day, okay? Through the maze of life, you will get there, okay? That's your bum. Where's your head? Where are you? Good boy. Stay there. Okay. So I feel like, to sum up, I kind of feel like you are going to change the whole frequency of your family, like the whole lineage, everything. You're going to change everything because these people don't know that any of that exists. So you're here to change the course of your family, okay? But if your family doesn't want to change with you, then you'll be forced to leave them behind, hence creating a new family for yourself. Okay, so this is going to be a lot about, over the next little while, of about clearing yourself, letting things go, releasing the monster out of the closet, getting out of the maze, okay, learning that the devil does not control you, okay, kind of, getting into the driver's seat, okay, and taking this shit seriously and knowing that, like, just because people said a bunch of things and just because, your family has been a certain way for eternity, it doesn't mean that that's the way that it stays. Okay, things can change, like laws change, presidents change, countries change, street names change, things change. Okay, it's the whole evolution of fucking life. Okay, it's how we got here. Without change, we wouldn't even be here. Okay, so whatever you have to let go, really, it's like time to let it go, and time to not expect it to resurrect back again. All right, it's not like if you let it go and it comes back to you, you need to let this go. Like, they have forbidden you from using like your telekinesis. Okay. They have forbidden you from learning that, your dreams are a part of this reality, that it's not just work, 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 and fucking everybody's a goddamn carpenter. This is we have things to do here. Okay. And it's not just mothers that can love their children, fathers can be a part of their children's lives as well. Okay. It's not just the mothers. Like, there's so many things that have changed, and that's why, people who are evolving with the times and reading up on things and caring about where to go next are the ones that are fortunate enough to realize that like life is going to change, and things are going to trick you, and people are going to trick you, and false images are going to trick you, and so many things are going to try to maze you up and try to get you confused. And that's the whole part of the devil. That's what the devil wants to do. Okay, he wants to move you in places where you never need to go, because really it's the people that did you wrong that need to go there. Okay, not you. You don't need to go where your enemies are going. You don't need to go on that chair like you keep thinking that you need to go. You're not going on the back of the chair. It's like trying to tame a wild horse sometimes. I just don't understand your logic that you always want to go places that I tell you that you can't go because you could get hurt, and you still want to go to those places when I know what's best for you. Okay? Honestly, I feel like learn from Modi, okay? Someone's telling you where you can go and where you shouldn't go because they know. So just, pay attention to what Spirit tells you. Okay, pay attention to what your guides are telling you. Pay attention, because there's a lot of wisdom. Okay, there's a lot of guidance that's coming in. Okay, and a lot of things that want to trip you up. Okay, a lot of things that want to say that you're not doing what you're doing. Okay, because somebody else is doing it and you can't do it. And blah blah blah. Absolutely, you fucking can. Okay, like you absolutely can. This doesn't need to be stuck in a rock in a hard place anymore. Okay, trying to trick you into believing that that's the way that life needs to be. It needs to be hard. You need to constantly keep bringing shit up from the past and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you fucking don't. Like, it's time to get out of this maze and live your life. Big changes. Big change. Modi, honestly, what are you doing? Okay, big changes, people. Okay, big changes. And we're going to learn as we get there how this is all going to play out, because we really don't know. Okay, we're just hoping. Okay, at this point, Spirit is like, just, you're going to get out of the maze. Everything is going to be good. You aren't going to be blocked from your spiritual gifts anymore. Okay, they're going to give your spiritual gifts back to you. And I feel like you have to acknowledge now where it is in your life that's tricking you into believing, hey, Two-Tone, okay, that you have to live in a maze for the rest of your life and never get out. Okay, as I said, get out. Look what's on the back of this. Get Out, Trap. Okay, that's that movie, Get Out. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's a pretty good movie. Anyways. All right, this little guy's, you're going crazy. Now you're getting crazy. You were nice and docile. This is what happens. He just is out of control like this all day. I have to put him on his jungle gym and let him run around. So we are going to call this an hour and 9 minutes. Nicely done. I do not think I'll be back later. What time is it now? Ooh, 3:45. Probably not, but maybe. I might come back later and do another reading. I'm not sure. But thank you for being here. I hope that this made sense. I hope it resonated. Okay. These readings are basically, you know, kind of based off of who's in the chat. Okay. So the more that you come to the chats and the more you get involved with the chats, then the more your energy will be picked up. And then the more your energy is picked up, the more you will get your answers. So you hang tight with me and you should get all the answers you need, depending on how, you know, urgent your messages are. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so see you later, everybody. Thank you for being here. Oh, sorry, that's Tina. I thought that was two-tone. Oh, Tina, nice to see you. You haven't been here in a while. Good to see you, girl. Glad to see you're still part of the old channel. Now we got snakes out here sometimes when we do readings now, so nice to see you back. All right. And we will all see everybody later. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Okay, Moby.